Hello, everyone. What's up? What's up, my friends and my fellow bibliophiles? We're here at Cat's Novel Adventures and ready to do some reading, some productive tasks, relaxing, meditating, whatever you want to do. But I'm glad you're hanging out. That is what is important. Hanging out with our community and getting to know each other, see what each other's up to, and I don't know, get into a little something, something. Let's see what's going on. Who is in the chats? Okay. Hey, Brianna. Hello, hello. We'll be reading Anxious People this evening. Sounds good. Like that smile. Hello, Vanessa. Ooh, I skipped you. Hi. Hi there. How you doing, Vanessa? I just tagged you recently in a video. I want to hear about your reading habits. Check it out. Hello, Miss Alicia. How are you today? How's your week going so far? What are you reading? Hello, Miss Amy. How are you? Did you have to work today? What's up with you? What are you reading? Are you reading? Or are you going to be doing something else? And Vanessa's telling Brianna hello. Hello, Jennifer, my kindred spirit. How are you today? What are you up to? Are you reading If It Bleeds? That would be wonderful if you are. And Brianna's telling Vanessa hello. And Vanessa's listening to The Long Game by, is it Elena Armas? I have not heard of that. Hello, y'all. First time joining your sprints and just subscribed today. I was sent by Stacy and Steph. Yes, Tina, welcome. Welcome to my channel. I saw you in the chat. I need to come check out your channel as well. You were sprinting at about an hour or so into their sprints. And glad you're here. Welcome. Let me know what you are planning on reading right now, because I know you've been reading for a while. Hey, Kristen. I read The Lonesome Bodybuilder last fall. Hope you like it. Yes, that is what I'm reading. I am reading The Lonesome Bodybuilder. It is by Yukiko Motoya. And it is a Japanese story that was translated by Asa Yonada. And I'm reading this particular short story for Week of Weird. It is What a Strange Trip prompt, and it is for you to read a translated piece of weird fiction. So that is what I'm going to start my sprints off reading. So good to know that you liked it. Vanessa said, ooh, you tagged me. I have some catching up to do on YouTube videos. Me too. So I'm right there with you. I was behind before I went on my trip. Now I'm like triply behind. I can't get caught up. I'm reading If It Bleeds by Stephen King and Cackle by Rachel Harrison. I want to read Cackle one day. I've had friends that have read it and enjoyed it. Hey, Mary. Mary's trying to finish a quick self-portrait and then hopefully reading. How did your pumpkins come out from last week? Did you complete them? Please send me a picture on Instagram. I'd like to see, even if you don't want to show anybody else, but a self-portrait. And what do you have in mind for reading, or you haven't decided yet? No work today. It's my Sunday, so it's been a lazy day, just lounging around. Yeah, sometimes you need to have a lazy day and just lounge around, especially when you're working a lot and if you're participating in a lot of stuff on BookTube or you're socializing out there. Yeah, sometimes we just need some downtime. I am making a loaded baked potato soup and hoping to start either Black Sheep or the Autumnal tonight. Well, first of all, I like the titles of both of those books. I've heard about the Autumnal. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I believe Kelsey was talking about that the other day. And if you hear some weird pig-like snuffling, chuffing noises, Tootie's in the room. He's on his pillow and he is chowing down on his bone. If it gets to be too much and it's distracting you, please let me know and I will move it away from him. But he's going to town and he sounds like a little piglet. Also, Alicia, I love the way that sounds, a loaded baked potato soup. Now, are you making this from scratch? If you are, you know what I'm going to ask you. Can I have the recipe, please? Tina's reading Murder at the Beacon Bake Shop by Darcy Hannah in Spy Family Volume 1. Okay. I did learn, Tina, from Stacy and Steph's sprints today that you are like a cozy mystery expert, perhaps, and that you always give in a lot of recommendations and good recommendations. That's good to know because I like to read cozy mysteries too. I don't really read a lot of them unless you want to consider Agatha Christie. I've been reading a bunch of hers, but I did find a series by Leslie Meyer. This one's called The Candy Corn Murder, but it's the Lucy Stone Cozy Mysteries. Have you ever read these? I'd like to know. I don't know anybody that has read them yet, and I'm just trying to figure out. I found a bunch of them at the Friends of the Library, and then not Books a Million, Second and Charles had a big sale, like it was a penny a page, and I found a bunch of them. So I picked them all up. I don't know if I'm going to like them or not, but when I see something like that, I don't want to not get them because they might not be there the next time you go. Amy says, I'm going to be reading for the week of Weird Rouge by Mona Awad. I've seen that book circulating on a lot of people's Instagram, so it's probably really good and popular. I hope you like it. Jennifer has recently finished Rouge and loved it. I'm a Mona Awad girly for sure. I have not heard of this author. Need to see. I enjoyed Cackle, Alicia saying. Yeah, I had a couple of friends read it, and I've been on the lookout for it at the Friends of the Library store. I'm trying very hard not to buy new books if I can. I'm failing miserably. I'm not buying as many as I was, but I am failing miserably. I just bought 2 books recently, one for Victober and one for my Cozy Cottage book club. One's a graphic novel. It looks very cute, and I can also use it for Halloween. I filmed my October TBR today, so if all goes well, I can put that out on Saturday. But also, I'm reading The Way We Live Now by Anthony Trollope. It is a group read for Victober, and it is a big, huge, chunky book, but there's a reading schedule, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to do it. But those are my last 2 books that I purchased, like from Amazon. Hello, Rebecca. She's saying, hi, everyone. Reading The Marlowe Murder Club by Robert Thorogood and The Clackety by Laura Senth and Knitting on a Shawl. Well, that all sounds fabulous. And I like these names, The Marlowe Murder Club and then The Clackety. And guess what? My notebook is in my bedroom. So I'm going to have to get that so I can write these down. Rebecca also enjoyed Cackle. See, y'all going to make me really want to read it now. All these people high-fiving it. Mary says, I just finished The Pumpkin Squash, and I think they're on my personal Insta. Are we friends on there too? I don't think so, Mary. I don't think so, because I would like to see those pumpkins. Let's see how are you doing. I'm excited for you with your artwork. Alicia says The Autumnal is a graphic novel, and Black Sheep is the new one by Rachel Harrison. Oh, cool. Cool. Alicia, hope you enjoy your loaded potato soup. This is Tina telling you this. I tried to make some the other day and burnt it to I'm assuming you're meaning a crisp. That's not good. I am making it from scratch, and I went rogue from the recipe, but I'll send it to you. Okay, sounds good. I could use some potato soup. Yes, that's what I was thinking you meant, Tina. Crisp instead of cruise. And Alicia's saying, oh no, and she's crying for you because I'm sure it takes the time to do it, especially if you're doing it from scratch. Mary is hoping to read Defend the Dawn. It's a Tandem Collective PR group book. Oh, I saw a picture for this. It's a fantasy genre. I really enjoyed the first book called Defend the Night. Sounds cool. I saw the cover. The cover looks really, really nice. I liked it. Yes, mainly cozy mysteries. Well, good. I'll know where to go to find some cozy mystery selections. Faye, hello. How are you? How's school treating you? Are you reading anything fun tonight? Let us know. Did you ever finish the Pale Blue Eye? Inquiring minds want to know. And Amy says, oh, yay, I'm in part 2 right now and loving so far. I'm a huge fan of hers too. Okay, so we have 2 Awad fans in the chat, and I need to figure out who this person is. I do want to try Lucy Stone. Yeah, they're really cute. They all have to do with the holidays, and I don't have all of them, but I do have quite a few. Say 2, 4, 6, 8, and I do think my other ones are in another place. I have to get another bookcase. I don't know if y'all can see the bookcase back here, that tannish one. I want to move this one out of my office and get another one like this, like these. I have 3 white ones over on my wall right there, and I want to get another wall. I want to get another white one for this back wall, and then I can move this tan bookcase out. You leaving? Probably need water. I need to move the tan bookcase outside. What are you doing over there? Okay, well, he's not leaving. I don't know. Maybe he wants his belly to be cool on the floor. He got hot on his pillow with all that chowing down. But it will give me an extra bookcase. Like right now, my bookcases are not very organized. As you can see, like in that last one, I've got books on 3 shelves. And then like I have 2 bookshelves that are just holding books. I've got to do book hauls, and I need to decide how I'm going to do my bookcase, all my bookcases. And that's why I want to get that other bookcase, because if I can get another one in here, then I can organize everything and get books out of boxes, books out of piles, and on shelves. And then I want to count all my books. I would like to do that. I have been inspired by Alex over at Frank Fiction, because she just did a video of her book shelves and how many that she had, and she's got like 350 or so, and I think that's awesome. Mona Awad also wrote Bunny, All's Well, and 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl. Well, I've heard of Bunny. And what would you suggest, Jennifer and Amy? What would be the first book I should read by Mona Awad if I was going to start reading her books? Vanessa is working on updating her spreadsheet while we're chatting. That sounds good. Didn't realize updating on vacation be so hard. Yes, everything is so hard when you're on vacation, except enjoying your vacation. That's where you're like the rock star. You're enjoying your time off. And you're off on your routine. I totally understand. I've recovered from being away as far as like physically, but I was already behind before I went on my trip because of just numerous things. And then y'all know I started working, and I know it's only 2 days a week, but when you haven't worked for over a year, you kind of forget how to work and you forget about that time that you're devoting to work and how it cuts into your other time that you were used to doing other stuff. But I'm not complaining by any stretch of the imagination, because there are other people who are working way more than my 2 days a week. But I need to get back into that routine. And it just seems like, I don't know, I can't get into a routine. And I don't know about y'all, I have not really been able to sleep well every night. I know that I am menopausal. I get it. But like there'll be a night that I sleep pretty okay. And then the next night, I'm like tossing and turning. I don't know if it's because I have too much on my mind. I don't know. I can't figure it out. Maybe I need to keep a journal, but who has time to keep a journal on that? Not me. I want to read The Clackety this fall too. It looks cute. I've heard that a couple of times. I did finish The Pale Blue Eye and really enjoyed it. Yeah, I want to read that. Since you've read it, I want to read it. Hello, Christina. Hi. Hope everyone is well. Reading The Invisible Hour by Alice Hoffman. Boot the like. Thank you. I appreciate that. Is The Invisible Hour part of the Practical Magic trilogy? And if so, is it the one that's a prequel or is it a sequel? Curious. I read Practical Magic and loved it. It's a great idea to stream right now, right next to the door. My cat is trying to get in, and I have to get up and walk across the room. Yes. Well, my office is not very big. It's not humongous, but the way my setup is, it's because of where I'm connected to my internet. It just works out that my room is not super big that I can reach my door and he can waddle himself out. I will say, Amy, you'll probably appreciate this. He is doing much better. And everybody that heard last week, he's on prednisone and he's been taking gabapentin. And we're kind of weaning off the prednisone right now. He's down to a half a tablet in the mornings for 4 days. So he's doing really well with that. And he seems to be doing okay, Amy, on the gabapentin. I know you said that your doggy is on gabapentin. I don't know what we're going to do after, though. I'm kind of curious about that. If we're going to refill it and keep doing it. I only give it to him in the morning, and that seems to be doing okay. But I don't know if your dog takes liquid or tablet, but we have liquid, and Tootie hates it. Does not like it at all. Faye will be listening to an audiobook of Penguin Lessons by Tom Mitchell while trying to finish a paint by numbers I started years ago. Paints dried up before I finished. Just got new paint yesterday. That sounds fun. What is the picture going to be when you're finished? Is it something for the fall? Katrina. Hello, Miss Katrina. Are you home or are you working? It seems like when you pop in, you're always working. I hope that you're off today. Amy says she writes contemporary lit with horror and magical elements. Since you are into theater, I would say give All's Well a go. Okay, yes. I don't have my notebook, but I'm going to write this down on this Post-it, and then I'll have to transfer it. I'm going to have to do that until I can get my notebook. Okay. Thank you. It's a good point. I like to be able to start somewhere. I think you should start with All Wells because of your theater experience and also because I've seen the big book of Shakespeare on your shelf. Yes, I have my big book of Shakespeare. And the reason why it is the way it is because it's too tall for that shelf. But I do think if I move the shelf above it up to actually match the one in the middle, I don't know. I was kind of experimenting with the sizes because my middle shelves are where I'm going to keep all my zombie books. But yeah, maybe it'll fit after that because I want to keep my Shakespeare stuff with my classics. That's supposed to be my classic shelf over there. Right now, anyway, it's temporary. Katrina just finished The Ankle Snatcher by Grady Hendrix for the Week of Weird. It's a short story on KU. Oh, I wish I had Kindle, but I don't. I saw that, a picture of that. Maybe it was on your Instagram that I saw it, but I just am intrigued by the title, Ankle Snatcher. I think that's wonderful. So fun. I'm glad he's doing better. Thank you, Alicia. He's still slow and we still have to pick him up. Like, he's so funny. He walks to, you step into your house. Well, it's not very big, like maybe like that, right? He used to be able to like hop on over it and run into the house. Well, no longer. He walks and then he stops. And then you have to lift him over it. Same thing. He can go down his steps, but he can't come up. So we have to lift him, all his little places. And then he will bark at us. Like sometimes he wants to be next to you on the sofa. Well, he wants to be with you everywhere you go. So if you get up and like go in the kitchen for something, he starts barking at you because he thinks you're supposed to be bringing him with him, but you're coming right back. So it's like, I can't be hauling you around. He's like 25, 26 pounds. He's heavy. Hey, Em, how are you? So glad you're here. I have not chatted with you in a little while. I do see you on Instagram, and I've been liking a lot of what you're up to. I hope everything's all well with you. Amal, hello. I saw you earlier on Stacy and Steph's sprints. What are you planning? Oh, he's telling me right now. Trying to finish Fear No Evil, 95% in. You should be able to do that. Yes, you are at work. Is Wednesday a normal day for you to be at work, or is it just happens to fall that way? because I swear you're always at work when I sprint on Wednesdays. The sprint spreadsheet has been updated. Excellent. Yay. And Mal says, I have a diamond paint drawing of Home Sweet Home, but I'm not a patient girl. So I don't know if I'll continue it. Okay. Well, diamond paint, is that what you're saying? Diamond paint drawing, is that where you're putting the little pieces into it, or is it actual paint? Let me know, because Sarah does diamond painting, but I think it's the little things you poke in. They're really neat. Jennifer says, I have the same big book of Shakespeare, also literature, mythology, movies, and psychology. Wow, I didn't realize that they made all of those. I believe the publisher is DK. That is awesome. That's pretty neat. I think I would like the mythology one for sure, and the literature, probably the movies, and depending on the psychology, possibly. I mean, are you surprised that I would want all those books too? My painting is of a violin and a piano, kind of dramatic looking, with sheet music and roses. Sounds wonderful. Hi, Stacy. Thanks for joining us sprints today. So glad to be here now for yours. I appreciate you being here. And thank you so much for the shout out. Tina has come and joined in also for today. Brianna is also here today as well. And thank you so much for advertising to your peeps. I think your peeps and our peeps are going to start melding together soon. I really enjoyed the time. You helped me get some reading done in the Miraculous, which I need to finish for today. I haven't seen anything on YouTube yet for the meeting. I'm going to have to scooch out a little bit earlier, I say earlier, but at least by 7, I think, because they're supposed to have the middle grade March book club meeting this evening, and I haven't seen anything for that yet to join. So hopefully they're going to have it, because it is the last Wednesday of the month. No, it's a standalone, I think, about a girl living in a cult where they're not allowed art or books unless they are math, spelling, or gardening. Did I miss? I must have missed something. Were you telling us what it was? Oh, Invisible Hour. Yes. Okay. I was like, what? Okay. Yeah. So Invisible Hour is not, okay, a standalone. I have only read Practical Magic. I do have Indigo on my shelf. I need to read that by the end of the year, and it's super short, by Alice Hoffman, but I want to get the other books in the Practical Magic series. Hey, Storm. How are you doing today? I was picking books out for your readathon. I filmed my October TBR, but I pulled books to read for your readathon for Halloween, but I did not assign them yet, because some of them can fit multiple prompts, and I need to lay them all out and figure out which one will go with which prompt. And until I do that, I won't know until I start reading, but I do have the pile. I'm excited about it. I didn't describe that well at all. It's called Music by Candlelight by Paintworks. You did fine. Love the Practical Magic series, though. I read that in October, all 4. Love them. Oh, there's 4 books instead of 3. Okay. I thought there was just 3 of them. Yes, always Wednesday. Hi, Vanessa from Christina. Yep, I usually work both jobs on Wednesday, and I'm at my second job until 10 p.m. Whoa, that's a long day, Katrina. You probably need a cocktail when you get home, but it's probably too late. Either that or you just fall out into bed, huh? Are you a night owl? Hey, Halko, how's it going? What are you up to this evening? And Vanessa's telling Christina hello. Well, can't stay long. Off to dinner now. Well, bye, Vanessa. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. Swinging by to say hi and slap that like button. Hello, Andy. Has Emma gotten in touch with you? I hope so, because we're supposed to be doing a little collaboration next Friday. So hopefully she has gotten in touch with you. And I know that you're going to be sprinting soon. I should pop over and slap your like button too as well. And Christina's is saying, enjoy dinner, Vanessa. 2 prequels and a sequel. Okay, good to know. Good to know when I'm looking all that up. I'm all saying hello to Vanessa, and Vanessa is leaving for dinner. Oh, I can't wait to see what you're reading. Uploading my giant TBR possibilities right now. Yes, I'm going to tell you that I'll just say right now, I have a lot of books on my TBR, and there's a possibility I might add or I might subtract just depending on prompts. But some of my books are very hefty, especially the one that I'm reading for Victober. But my method to my madness is that if I read the group read and I stay on track with the reading schedule, I will get that one book done and it'll be my first Victober. It's just, I want to participate in Victober because I want to read Victorian literature, but it falls during the spooky season. And I also have a lot of spooky books I want to read. So, and I love that you're doing a middle grade readathon. You should have called it a middle grade spookathon. That's what I'm going to call it. Yep, Emma passed the messages. Good, good, good. Yes, so I will decide what we're going to do and all that kind of stuff, and I will let Emma know, and Emma will pass it on to you. I'm so excited that you and Emma are going to be on my channel. Haha, no, I'm asleep by 10:30 most nights. Yeah, I am by nature a night owl. However, I have to conform because most places you have to get up earlier and go to work. So it's no fun, but that's what you have to do. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and do our first sprint, 30 minutes to get everybody where they need to go and get their books together, get a beverage. I am drinking out of my little Nomi fall mug. I am drinking pumpkin pecan pie. This is a coffee that is put out by Community Coffee. Not sure if Community Coffee, how far Community Coffee sends their stuff out. I don't know how far it goes out, but it is a New Orleans or a Louisiana kind of company. But they always have different flavors for different holidays. So I love their praline pecan, but I am enjoying the pumpkin pecan pie. So that's what I'm going to be reading as I'm working. Thank you. I think I got that mug at Hobby Lobby a couple of years ago. And the coffee is good. You know, I'm supposed to be quitting coffee, but what I've kind of done is instead of drinking 2 cups of coffee and instead of starting my day with coffee, I am having an afternoon cup of coffee. And I'm just going to see how that plays out. It's hard for me. I love it. I'm weak when it comes to coffee. It's not like I drink pots and pots of coffee all day long, but, you know, I like to have a cup or 2 a day. So many readathons in October I want to participate in. I know it's just too many October. Well, you know what? There's just too many readathons for every month. It's just very, very hard. And if you want to complete all the prompts, it makes it very difficult. So, Panda, get over to your stream. Emma's fussing. Sticking the pieces in thing. Yes. Okay. Yes. I saw some ladies at the scrapbook convention I attended in June. That is the first time I had ever seen diamond painting, and it is amazing. Very amazing. And I know that Sarah of Sarah Reads does it as well. Hello, Emma. How are you, my friend? I'm getting excited about our time next week together. So I'm going to try to get all that organized and to you hopefully by the weekend so we can plan it. And I guess are you going to send me a picture of yourself or can I use your profile picture? Let me know. I'll get with you with that too. Yes, Emma Bennett and Andy are also known as Panda. That's what Emma calls him. We're going to do a little live stream on my channel next Friday. So be on the lookout for that. And maybe y'all can join and hang out with us for a little while. I'm the most excited. I don't know. I think I'm the most excited to have someone so special like you on my channel. Hello, Alex. I'm here at the start. Great to see you. Great to see you too. We're about to go on a sprint. What are you reading? Let us know. And I already have Pomodoro Kitty up, and I changed Pomodoro Kitty to reflect the season. It's Nene. I can't get the colors for my Poir, which yesterday was Poir's. Whoops, wrong thing. Yesterday was Poir's Gotcha Day. 7 years we had Poir in our household. Hoping we're going to have many, many more. Okay, so we are started. I've shared it successfully. Yes, I think it's going to be fun. Emma's a lot of fun. Andy's a lot of fun. I go hang out with her. Well, I'm not on her sprints, but I go hang out when she's having sprints, and it's always fun. Alex is reading Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, last book from the Bourbon Pong. Oh, that's right. Your Bourbon Pong TBR video for the month. You got to finish. You only got a couple of more days. I loved when you did the Bourbon Pong. It was awesome. And Emma's wishing my Poir a gotcha day. Happy gotcha day. Yes, it was a happy day. I'll have to tell y'all that story one day of how I got my kitty cat. It's not really my kitty cat. It's Andrew's kitty cat. So I get to share her. Okay, I'm not going to talk anymore. Happy reading, and see y'all in a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. How did everybody do? I finished my short story. It was very, very good. Kristen was right. It is about a woman who's lonely, and she's been married for about 7 years, and she's always been kind of like the type of person that didn't really, she wanted to do something, but she didn't really go out and do it. And she just decided, after watching a program with her husband wasn't really paying attention to her. She decides that she wants to be a bodybuilder and goes to a gym, has a coach that helps her, and it transforms her body, but also transforms how she thinks about herself, how she starts thinking about her marriage and her interactions with people she works with. What is unusual about it is not one character in the story has a name. So everybody's referred to as, well, it's from a first person narrative, but we don't know the woman's name, and we don't know her husband's name or her coach or any of the people that she works with. But I enjoyed it. I think I might read through it again before I decide what star rating I'm going to give it. But first short story that I read by this author, Yukiko Moi Toya. I am not the best with pronunciations, but it is a Japanese tale. I found this on this website. I was looking for, short stories. It's 20 translated short story collections from around the world. That's where, let me see if I can copy that and put it in our chat. Anyway, this is where I got, there was a link in it for the short story. So if anybody's looking for weird short story collections, there's a link for that. And then the actual story that I read, if anybody's interested, let me post it. But I think it was a good short story. I mean, there's a lot going on in it. There's loneliness, there's like self-esteem and building confidence, and going after what you want so you don't have regrets, because you already had regrets earlier. It's about relationships and what people come in your life or you interact with that kind of help you take the next step. Hello, Brittany. Brittany is a new subscriber here. Welcome. I'm so happy you're here. She is reading Powerless by Lauren Roberts, 25% through so far and loving it. Sounds great. Glad you're making some progress and glad you're here. My friend Margaret's like, phew, just finished my long fall book rec stream. Brain still a whir. I will have to check that out in replay, because I know that you were doing that you started about a half an hour before I came on. So I'll have to check that out and see what kind of fall book recommendations you have. Even though I have my October TBR already in the bag, doesn't mean that I can't add it for future reads, right? And Jennifer made pumpkin bars and listened to If It Bleeds. Yum! Pumpkin bars. Did you make it from scratch, or did you have a mix, or how did you do that? I'm interested. If you have a recipe, you'll need to send them to me, because I need to make a treat. I need to make a fall treat or buy a treat. I was looking for my pumpkin bread recipe and I cannot find it. I have to go back on this website to find it, and I did not. And I wanted to make it for the first day of fall, and I'm kind of failing on a couple of things, guys. I just can't keep it all together. Brianna got to chapter 20 of Anxious People. Excellent. And there, of course, is the 20 translated short story collections, if anybody's interested. And they're supposed to be all weird, too. Weird stories. And then this is the actual story, The Lonesome Bodybuilder, that I read. Love the pin. Thank you. Oops. I can never. That's my little pumpkin. I'm wearing my little earrings too. Ugh, I'm always backwards. I have my little black cat earrings on. I wanted to wear my black cat pin today, but you couldn't see my black cat on my t-shirt because it's too dark. So I'll have to wear that one for a different video. I started listening to Wild Places by S.L. Coney. It's a cosmic novella. Ooh, does it have any kind of creatures in it? Ooh, pumpkin bars sound so yummy. Yes, they do. Along with Alicia's loaded baked potato soup. Because you know what, Alicia? If I can make loaded baked potato soup, that can count for one of my fall bookish bingo prompts too, because you are to make something cozy, think comfort foods, and she even suggested soup, so that might work. I opened a can of hard ginger cider and read the first chapter of Black Sheep. So is it too soon to tell if you're liking it or not? They are homemade. I'll send you the recipe. Yay. So if you send me that recipe, I can make that for one of the prompts for Fall Bookish Bingo. And then Alicia's soup recipe will be for the other one. Hard ginger cider sounds so good. I've never had hard ginger cider. It sounds like it would be yummy. Yes, pumpkin bars. Yes, I think that's going to be fabulous. Are you going to take a picture of them, Jennifer, and post on Instagram too? And Alicia saying that the hard ginger cider is good. It's seasonal from Handcrafted Atlanta. Okay, so I wonder if that means you can only get it in that area, or is it something that will go along the South? I'm still drinking my coffee. Let's see. I am liking the book so far. Her writing is just so easy and fun. Well, good. That sounds good. I like that. Easy. That's how this little short story, I finished a little bit earlier. So then I went on Andy's. He's sprinting for an hour. So I popped on over there and booped his button since he came over and slapped my like button. And yeah, so Emma Bennett and Andy are going to come over next Friday. So I'm going to have normal Wednesday sprints, and then we're going to do a little live something on Friday for a couple of hours. So I haven't decided. They're pretty flexible. We haven't really talked about it, but they wanted to come on my channel, and I said, sure. And we may have some sprints. We may just hang out. So I have to make that decision and run it by them and see what they want to do. I'm thinking maybe probably hangout sprints, kind of like we do here, but y'all will get to know Emma and Andy if anybody joins us for that. They are both writers. I discovered them. Well, actually, Emma discovered me first and ended up subscribing to my channel. And then I found out that she's on AuthorTube, and it has opened me up to a whole community of AuthorTube tubers and some really great people over there as well. So kind of like, meshing those lines. And that's how I also met Margaret. So it should be fun. Katrina wants to read Black Sheep so bad. Her books are fun and cozy. Yes, I am going to check this out, but I've got a recommendation. And Alicia says they really are to you, Katrina. And I just picked mine up from the library today. Jennifer says, I don't think I can link the recipe here, so I'll have to send it to you in IG chats. Either IG chats or you probably still have my email. I'll have to figure out how to give you a wrench, and then that way you can do it. You have to do it somehow on YouTube. I don't know if I can do it on my iPad. You're limited to what you can do on the iPad, but I have to figure it out. It's been a while since I did that, so I'll have to figure out how to do the wrench so that you guys can link things. But you can either send it to me through Instagram, or if you want to send it to me in my email, I'll post my email just in case. Okay. There it is. So I do appreciate it. I think it's going to be fun to try y'all's recipes and then be able to count them for my fall activities. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And anybody else that would like to email me, there's my email. Hello, Swamp Gas. How are you doing today? What are you up to? Are you reading? Are you being productive? What is on your agenda for this Wednesday? Please let us know. What else is going on with everybody? Trying to think. I just worked this week and I put out a video about my reading habits because I have gotten tagged during this first year, that I've been on Instagram. I get tagged, and a couple of tags I was able to do, but I have plenty to do still. So I'm kind of thinking that if I have the time, I would like to try to complete all of the tags I've been tagged in before the end of the year. That might be a little bit ambitious, but I do have one that I need to do soon, but it doesn't look like it's going to take very long to do. It's just, finding time to get it all together. Yes, you make me happy, my little kindred spirit. I emailed the recipe to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that'll be something that'll be fun to make. What else? Anything else going on? I will be going to see Kelsey on Saturday. We are still scheduled to go shopping. We'll probably go eat lunch somewhere. And I don't know. We'll probably go in this little shopping area close to our house that we've shopped before. I know she's done some Halloween shopping. I've done a little bit. Not much. I got my little scarecrow that I put on the porch in my rocking chair. He will be moving because that's the rocking chair I'm going to be sitting in. But right now he's there enjoying my new rocking chair. And I will move him to my other rocking chair. And I did buy these little crows. You might see them, possibly see them in my video that I release on Saturday. And then I do have some little featherly friends that I got. So those will be popping up as well. I put a couple of them on my bookcases for y'all to see. But I just love those little birds. They're so cute and they're cheap. They're $5 at Target. I can't believe they're still $5. With everything else going up in the world, that has not increased, and I'm thankful for that. Christina read 30 pages and decided to switch books again, finish up an audio now. Good. Sounds excellent. Okay, well, we have a Would You Rather, and just so we know, I'm going to show this here. There it is. Since we are officially in fall, I'm doing a Would You Rather fall edition question. Would you rather pumpkin spice or salted caramel? Now, keep in mind, I didn't specify if this is food or a beverage. One of my friends on Facebook, thought it was gross that my friend Brian had pumpkin spice scented toilet paper. And he was like, well, you don't eat it, so I don't know why that's gross. And I was like, well, true, because I didn't say that it had to be a food or a beverage. You could have a candle that is pumpkin spice or salted caramel. And apparently you can have other products like toilet paper. Who knew? But what do y'all think? What about you? Do you like pumpkin spice or salted caramel? Now, I will admit that I like both, but if I had to choose, if it was like push come to shove and I had to choose, I would probably go with the salted caramel because I think it would smell really great in a candle. And I also think it would taste really good. I've had salted caramel flavored ice cream before and love it. Christina says, Miss Frost Cracks a Caper by Kristen Painter. Have about 45 minutes left. That sounds like a cozy mystery. Swamp Gas is house cleaning today. That sounds excellent. That's a task that I need to work on as well. Alicia's for salted caramel, no matter what it is. Awesome. Swamp Gas is also for salty caramel. Christina wants salted caramel. Woohoo! And Katrina is a pumpkin spice anything. So we have us a spicer in the house. And salted caramel, I'm not a lover of pumpkin spice. It depends on what the pumpkin spice is. Katrina, if you love pumpkin spice, I don't know if you eat bagels and you like cream cheese. I'm not supposed to be eating either one of them, but I picked up pumpkin spice cream cheese at Walmart this past Saturday, and it tastes amazing on a bagel. Just saying. Mary says salted caramel. Ooh, salted caramel's winning. I have a salted caramel candle. It does smell good, but I do that for the rest of the year. But this time of year, it's pumpkin spice. Yeah, so you're like me. You probably like both of them, but if you have push come to shove and you only can have one, you're going to pick the pumpkin spice. But if you have not tried the pumpkin spice cream cheese, I highly recommend it. I thought it tastes really well, really good. I prefer a spiced apple smell and tastes better than the pumpkin, and I would rather have a sweet potato pie than pumpkin pie. Sweet potato pies are good as well. I like really pretty much any pie. I mean, I haven't tasted every pie in the entire world, but I like pie. And I'm finishing my 80s hairdo on my 20-year-old self-portrait. That I need to see. I need to see that. Guys, I had an 80s hairdo too. My hair was big. In fact, when I got married, my hair was big. I am definitely grew up in the 80s. I mean, I was born in 69 and was a youngster in the 70s. And then the 80s were more like my junior high, teenage years. And yeah, I had that big hair going on. I have one picture of myself where my hair is so high. I was like, I must have used tons of hairspray. It's hilarious. I have pumpkin spice cream cheese too. Yay. And I have pumpkin spice yogurt. I have not seen that. Pumpkin spice yogurt. I'll have to check that out. I hope they do a pumpkin spice or a salted. I think they did have a salted caramel cookie. Yes, they did. The first week that we went and checked out Crumble Cookie, I'm pretty sure they had a salted caramel, and that one was really good. But I wonder if they have a pumpkin spice crumble cookie. How many of y'all have crumble cookie by you? I just discovered crumble cookie about a year ago. My niece, we passed by. My niece is like, oh, if we have time, she lives in Atlanta. She was like, we need to go to Crumble Cookie. They have the best cookies. Well, we didn't. And one happened to open up in Covington, which is a couple of towns over from where I live. And we went and tried some of their cookies and they were so good. And then they opened a crumble cookie here in July, which of course I can't eat those, but we did go for the chocolate chip day because there was National Chocolate Chip Day. And that was my excuse to have my husband take me to go get cookies. Of course, we got more than just the chocolate chip. We had to try the other ones too. Yes, Christina likes pie too. Ow! Ow! Hello. Welcome to my Wednesday afternoon sprints. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, that is Ant-Man over here. My Ant-Man. He really is tall. Right now, he's just bent at the ankles because I don't have the part to stand him fully up. And yeah, he's my Ant-Man. I wish I could somehow shrink him. That would be really cool. I got him from a comic book store. I love him. So glad you're here, Al. And I hope that you tell me about your reading habits since I tagged you in that. We want to see your 80s hair, Kat. Yeah, I'll have to. It's an actual photograph. So I'll have to dig it out. But man, it was really big hair. I could probably show you my wedding picture one, but my hair was bigger in the other picture. Yeah, it's craziness. And I just think about all the hairspray that we used for that. Too much. And probably my only other hairstyle that was like 80s was I did have my hair cut short and then I had a rat tail. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but literally, your hair is short and then you have this one piece of hair in the back. And I used to braid it and sometimes put a little bow in it. Just really weird. My dad gave me permission to do it. My mom did not like it at all. My mom didn't like anything extra. Like I wasn't allowed to double pierce my ears, but my friend Shelly and I went ahead and did it with the ice cube and the needle, and I pierced this ear over here twice doing that, and wore little earrings in it, and my mom did not notice ever. I had to point it out to her, and then she was like aggravated. I was like, okay, I've had this for a long, long time. Katrina says, I'm hitting up Trader Joe's tomorrow for all the pumpkin spice stuff. I hear the ice cream is really good. Awesome. I don't have a Trader Joe's in my town. We have one in Baton Rouge, and we also have one in the Metairie area, which is close to New Orleans. But I have never been in a Trader Joe's. I really should check it out. Sorry, I never make these. It's 11 p.m. here. I know. The time difference is always so hard with all my friends that live abroad. In fact, when I was in Sicily, it was really cool because it was 9 p.m. in Sicily, and I happened to see Emma on Sprints and popped on for a little bit. But I would not have been able to do that normally because that wouldn't have been a time normally I would be able to do it. But that was kind of cool. No, yeah. I pop on usually at 3:30. So maybe in the future, or maybe next Friday, if you want to check out me hanging out with Emma and Andy, we're going to start at 2-ish. But I'm glad you're here. I'm excited that you came. My mom had a mullet. All my cousins had rat tails. I had friends that had mullets too. My neighbor growing up in the 90s had a mullet with a rat tail. How is that possible? It would have been so weird. I made a note of the tag questions. Thank you. I'm sorry to say it'll be a couple of weeks until I can record that one. No worries. Al, I have one that you tagged me in that had to do with bookshelves early on, and I have it on my list. I still have to do that one. It's not that I'm ignoring it, but that one I have to really do. The problem with that one is I need to get all my books out of boxes and out of piles and on shelves. And then I want to do it because I want to be able, because I think one of the questions is how many books do you have in your personal library? So in order to be able to count effectively, I have to do that. And also I have tons of comic books. So I don't know, I guess you can count that in there too. I mean, they are books, they're comic books. So that's going to be one that's, I haven't forgotten. I am going to do it whenever you can get to it. You know, I know some people like to do them. Some people don't. Some people have time for them. Some people don't. But I did have Patty tell me that she really enjoys them and she hadn't seen a lot of tags lately or whatever. So anyway, that she inspired me to want to do my tags that I've been tagged in and try to get them done by the end of the year and then try to keep up with them throughout the year. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and do another sprint, and anybody joining us can answer our fall would you rather question. But for this time, I need to change what I am reading because since I finished that, I am now going to be reading The Miraculous by Jess Redman. First book by Jess Redman. It is really a book. It's a middle grade book, and it is a really compassionate book about grief. And it's got a little bit of magic realism. And I don't know exactly where this is going to end up. It's kind of mysterious, but I'm enjoying it. In the beginning, I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of heavy for middle graders, because there's a death in the beginning and how it affects the little boy in the story, which our little boy's name is Wonder, it's Wunder, and he's 11 years old. And The Miraculous is the name of a book that he writes daily miracles in, or miracles that happen in his community. So I've gotten to where now it's you know, there's some humor in it. There's a fun character named Faye in it. And Faye, they spell her name just like you do. And at first, Faye was a little annoying, but now she's kind of growing on me. I think because she's starting to grow on Wonder. I think because she was annoying Wonder and he's so sweet, she was annoying me as well. But really interested because the story is unfolding and just curious where it's going to go. So we'll go ahead and do our sprint. Let's do 45 minutes. I got to change our timer. Because then I can also go eat. Yes, Faye with an E. Annoying but grows on you sounds like me. No, I'm not saying you, Faye in the book, but she is. She's growing on me, and she really is. Her personality is cute. She is. She does what she wants to do, and she wears a cloak, and she wears these fingerless lace gloves, and everybody's telling her how she's breaking the rules wearing her cloak. But if I can find a passage where they describe what she's wearing, I'll share it because she is cute. It's just that she wants to call Wonder Wondy all the time, and Wonder just doesn't want to. He's like, nobody calls me that. Why are you calling me that? I don't even know you, girl. Why are you calling me that? Anyway, it's fun, but I'm excited because I don't know many Fays that spell their names with an E. So I thought that was awesome. Okay, I promise we're going to do it now. Share our screen. Happy reading. Happy productivity. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Okay, everyone, how did y'all do? I got through pretty much. Okay, let me stop this. I can't talk and do two things at one time. Okay, so how did everybody do? I made some progress. I forgot where I was at, but I'm on chapter 36, 229, and there are 306 pages in my book. I'm loving this so much. Just really is unfolding. And I'm loving the sweet friendship between Wonder and Faye, and also Wonder's friend Davy. They were actually friends before, and when Wonder has his loss, there it's kind of like weird between them, and so they're kind of estranged from each other for a short amount of time, but then they come together. But there is humor in this, very heartfelt, very tenderhearted, and I'm excited that I'm reading this. And I believe this is the debut novel for Jess Redmond. So interested to see what else she's going to do. As far as we had some people join us, Jocelyn Carter came in and she was saying howdy, and I was telling her hi. And then Christine came. She's saying, hi, everyone. I love all things pumpkin, but maple and salted caramel are good too. Give me all the fall things. And if you haven't seen, Christine has a video out. She has made 500 subscribers on her channel, and she is doing a giveaway. She has some giveaway boxes for both out of the US as well as in the US. So if you haven't seen her video yet, please check it out. Also, my friend Liz came in. She said, still at work because Wednesdays are my new late night, but just wanted to pop in and say hi, happy reading. So happy that she popped in. And Jennifer says pumpkin spice for me. And Alex says 64% through Dark Matter. I'm determined to finish it tonight. I hope you do. That would be awesome. Katrina finished Wild Spaces, and I think it's a 5-star for me. Excellent. And Faye says, I've listened to 3 chapters of my audiobook, and I finished 1 color on my paint by number and then cleaned my fish tank. You were very busy. That's awesome. Brittany managed 40 pages. It's 23:45 p.m. here, but I think I might have to stay up to finish Powerless. Not even halfway. Haha, it's amazing. Okay, well, you'll have to help me with the 23:45 p.m. because I don't know what that is in military numbers. Al's still with us, still up, even though it's late where he's at. He read a few pages of the law book. I should be reading and several pages of a thriller, The Last Town, that I probably shouldn't be reading. So he needs to be reading more of the law book and less of The Last Town. But The Last Town is probably more fun. So I can understand that, especially if you're up late. But that's progress. Jennifer has 48% through If It Bleeds, like all the other books that feature Holly. I'm flying through this one too. I should be done in a couple of days so I can finally read Holly. Well, I'm at the part where Holly has to go back home. She's been summoned. So you probably bypassed me already, Jennifer. I need to get back to it, but I was on pause because of the miraculous, which I still don't see anything for us to have our meeting tonight. So I hope everything's okay with our middle grade March book club, folks. And yes, I'm very excited that you made your 500 subscribers. Very proud of you and so glad that you took the leap. She explains how she was kind of hesitant in the beginning, but I'm glad that you didn't let anything, all the noise, stop you, because you really do have a lot to offer our BookTube community. And I'm excited that you're here and excited that we're friends. So Jocelyn has 150 words added, 154 words added. Jocelyn's a writer, and she is typing out some interesting stuff in her book. Excited to hear that. And Alicia, is that how you pronounce it? Alicia McCaffrey is here. Hey, I just got on here. I'm looking to finish Other People's Pets by R.L. Mazes tonight. Welcome to my channel. Please Please let me know how to pronounce your name so I'm not saying it incorrectly, or if you have a nickname that you go by. Oh, 11:45 p.m. So if you're 11:45 p.m., you must be abroad also. Where are you from? Let me know. All these night owls on here. That makes me excited. Christina said, listen to a few chapters, and then hubby called and decided on dinner, meatball subs. Have about 30 minutes left. Excellent. And will Holly make sense if you haven't read all the others she's in? I think I read one, The Outsider, but not the others. I would say you really do. If you want the full Holly experience, I would definitely recommend reading them in order. Only because by the time you read Holly and The Outsider, Holly has already changed and is already in a different capacity than she was when she started off at the beginning in the Mr. Mercedes trilogy. I haven't read Holly yet, so I can't say, but I would think because her arc is so dramatic, the way she changes from beginning to end. Jennifer, weigh in with me, please, and give feedback, because you just read the Mr. Mercedes trilogy as well as The Outsider, and I just think it would be helpful. I'm reading the If It Bleeds novella right now, and I'm wondering if whatever happens in that novella, if that is where Holly's going to pick up. So I would think so. But okay, so we have another friend from across the pond. Yay! I'm so excited. And Christine says, okay, I didn't care for The Outsider, but she did stand out as a good character. I really like Holly. She is really an awesome character. And Al is leaving us. Good night, legends, he says. Good night, Al. I hope you get some good sleep and you have a fabulous rest of your week, and have a good weekend. I'm so happy that you were able to join us tonight. Well, tonight for you and afternoon for us. And Jennifer said, you will miss the character development and growth of Holly if you skip any of the books that she is in. I agree 100% with that. Katrina says, I only read The Outsider and If It Bleeds, and I can see why King wanted to give her a full novel. Yes, very good. And because Holly is so different in the beginning in Mr. Mercedes, and how she changes throughout that trilogy. And, some people, the Mr. Mercedes trilogy is maybe not their favorite, but I really enjoyed it. I liked the characters. I thought they meshed really well. And I'm glad to see that some of the characters have remained even in If It Bleeds. So I was happy to see that. And Christine is thanking you, Jennifer. Is the order Mr. Mercedes trilogy and then Let It Bleed? No, it's Mr. Mercedes trilogy, then it is The Outsider, and then it is If It Bleeds, which is part of a collection called If It Bleeds. You will also miss out on understanding the past events that are referenced in the other books with Holly. Yes, because they reference from both Mr. Mercedes, because they talk about Bill Hodges. And, that's pretty much, he's the main character of the trilogy, obviously. But the relationship with him and Holly is very important. And then there's also references definitely to The Outsider so far of what I've read. Yeah, If It Bleeds is the novella, and it's part of the collection If It Bleeds. Yes, so Jennifer is reiterating the order. Alicia says, I've never actually read any of the Holly books. Yeah, I think Holly's great. I mean, one of the things about Stephen King that I love, because I happen to love character-driven stories, more so than plot driven, is that he's very, very good at writing characters. Now, some better than others, obviously, but I just find that Stephen King has a way of just really developing them to the point that you actually care about them. There's been times where, like, I cannot believe that what he's actually done. Like, what were you thinking when you did this to this character? and had to go back and reread to make sure it was true. And I've shed many tears over the years in his stories. And the fact that some of his characters even just keep going in different parts of his universe, I love that as well. Because if you know anything, or if you read something and you see him again, or you hear about him again, it just kind of is a nod to that. I know he does that sometimes with his Castle Rock stories. And that happened when I read The Sundog, because Pop Merrill is in that, but you also know who Pop Merrill is from reading Needful Things. So yeah, I really do. I love that. And Holly is one of those characters for me that just sticks with you. Okay, so Alicia. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Alicia, for letting me know, because I really want to make sure that I pronounce right. I'm even going to write it down, because believe me, I know how it is. I get called all kinds of things. My name is Catherine, but I will be called Kathleen, Kathy, all kinds of stuff. So it's just easier if you call me Kat, and then we don't have any kind of problems with that. Thanks, Jennifer. I can't remember if I read the first Mr. Mercedes a long time ago, but I'll start there. And Alex says, I read the trilogy and The Outsider, but started with The Outsider. Can confirm the way she is portrayed is different in the later books than the original trilogy. 100%. It's the same thing. If anybody is a Walking Dead fan here, it is the same thing as when you see the transformation in character of Carol and Daryl from the very first season to how it ended, because their character development, you could see changes in all the characters, because I think the writers for The Walking Dead were very character driven as well. And you can see lots of changes. But for me, Carol and Daryl made such a huge transition. You saw so much growth in their characters, and thankfully in a good way for both of them. Jennifer really loved the Mr. Mercedes trilogy and The Outsider. I don't get scared by books, but there were a couple of parts of The Outsider that genuinely terrified me. I'm just saying the beginning was so gruesome at the very beginning. I was like, whoa, what you doing? What you doing, Stephen King? I can't believe you just right out the gate with that. But yeah, it was creepy. There's parts in it. Just the whole concept of it is creepy to me. And anything that can come into like your home uninvited and can somehow affect you in a way, that kind of freaks me out. I don't like that kind of stuff. I mean, it does make for good reading, though. And Alex says, I totally agree with you, Jennifer. The Outsider was my first King book and my first horror book. The first half scared the crap out of me. Even the cover creeped me out. Yes, the cover is creepy. And what Holly endures in that, because of why she is in the novel, is just creepy as hell. I mean, that whole entire scenes that happen in that section of it, just kind of like, I mean, like sometimes I think to myself, if this was real life and I was in this situation, I mean, it's kind of hard to judge when I mean, it's easy to judge, not hard to judge, but easy to judge when you're like, really, this couldn't happen. But if it could, like, how would you, manage it? It's the same way with movies with me. Like, I think to myself, Art the Clown has scarred me for life. I don't even know how I could even fathom running into somebody as grotesque as Art the Clown. But I can guarantee you 100% that if ever I even had a glimpse of him somewhere, I would not even be remaining. Like, I would know, I'd be out of there. He's a clown and he's a mime. And it's stuff like that. It's ridiculous. He's ridiculous and probably would never happen in real life, but still freaks me out all the same. Scrolled YouTube for way too long. Back to reading. Yes, you can go down the YouTube rabbit hole and get lost in the tunnels for quite a while. And I do need to check out your 24-hour reading vlog. I am impressed with you if you read all 24 hours because I could not ever do that. But I am planning to look at that soon. I think that is so neat that you were able to do that, Brianna. The Outsider had some creepy parts. Yes, I agree. I like the show as well. I haven't seen the show, but I'd like to if I can find it on one of my streaming services. If I'm not mistaken, Jason Bateman's in it, and I like Jason Bateman. I've always liked him ever since he was, kid actor. Yes, I couldn't even take my morning walk the other day because it was still dark and I was afraid, and this never happens to me. Yeah, that is creepy. Things like that happen to me like after I've seen something. For example, after seeing the new It with Bill Skarsgård, I was like that for a while. Like, and it was when it was kind of like getting dark, like at dusk. I was always, because the way this was prior to Ida, we had some trees that kind of separated, not like big trees, but like smaller trees. And then they had like kind of bushes or whatever, but it was kind of where you could still kind of see that were in between my yard and my neighbor's yard. And I was always drawn to that area. And I'm like, if I happen to see Pennywise the Clown in that area, that would like kind of freak me out. Because I just figured that's kind of where he would stand if he was going to be in my yard, because it's kind of hidden, but not like I have no trees in the front of my yard, so I'm not going to see him there. And we don't have grates or sewer grates in my neighborhood. But that kind of freaked me out. And then the other thing that I always think about is when the trees it's windy. It's not super windy, but it's just breezy enough that all the trees start swaying, because my trees are pretty tall. It reminds me of The Happening all the time, every time, ever since I saw that movie. Art the Town. Yeah. Art the Clown. He is totally creepy for sure. Yeah. I think he's disgusting. He gives me the willies. I think it's hard for me to get scared when an idea is so out there that I can't believe it. Human monsters always scare me more. Yeah, I think so, because human monsters are real. I mean, they can really happen. I just think it's like sometimes I let my imagination get away with me, for sure. Yeah, I think Jason Bateman directs a couple of episodes. That's awesome. And then absolutely, I live in the woods of rural South Alabama, so that early morning walk in the dark was not happening that day. Yeah, I could see that. I've had that when I've gone for walks later in the evening. Most of the time, I'm not creeped out, but it depends on what I'm reading, what I'm watching. Also, too, have you ever had the experience? This happened to me. It was like an early morning and it was foggy. And I'm like, you just don't know what you're going to come up on. And that, of course, reminds me of The Mist. You never know. I saw my Blair Witch when I was young and I thought it was real. I was definitely scared of trees after that. Yeah, Blair Witch is creepy. I watched that during Old School April, and seeing it after so many years, I'm like, you know what? That really is kind of freaky. I mean, if I would see stuff like that in the woods, and then the whole fact that they were like lost in the woods and you can't get out, and then you're just, almost like going mad because you're dehydrated, you're lacking food, you're not getting along with the people you're with, that, you want to be in numbers when you're lost and stuff. It's creepy to me. Hey, Crystal, how's it going? What are you up to? What are you reading tonight? Are you just getting home? Are you cooking dinner? Let us know what you're up to. And Faye says, I'm in the middle of the Walking Dead binge, and when I go outside, I have a strong urge to check the fences. Yes, because you don't want anything coming in, that's for sure. Hey, Lauren, just got home from work. I hope you had a good day at work. I love Blair Witch. Yeah, I always enjoyed it when I had seen it in the past. I actually saw it for the first time in the theater, and that was creepy, especially those last scenes. I'm just like, I just can't take it. And then watching it again for Old School April, I was like, yeah, I love it. Jennifer also loves Blair Witch. It's a must-watch fall movie for me. It's creepy and unsettling, very much so. I would put it on to scare my little brother. Your poor brother. I don't think I've seen it since then. I should rewatch. Yeah, and I even have a book that has information about Blair Witch. So it is a true legend. And Lauren says that she's a pumpkin spice girl, not a fan of salt with sweets. Okay, well, that's good to know. I also wanted to share with Faye because I told her I would share a little bit about Faye in the book called The Miraculous. It appears that Faye is what we would consider a goth girl, but she really likes the supernatural and the spiritual world. And I think that's why she's kind of drawn to Wonder, because Wonder actually had a club and at school, it was called the Unexplainable and Inexplicable Phenomenon Society. And he started the club at the beginning of the school year, and they had only had one meeting, and she was in attendance for that meeting. But he sees her outside of school, and they're in a graveyard, and he sees her, and it says the smaller girl was far behind them, still near the grave site her family had been gathered around. She was moving so slowly that at first Wonder didn't realize she was moving at all. With every step she dragged her black sneakered toes along the grass. But when she saw Wonder coming down the path, she sped up just slightly, and soon they were walking side by side. I know you, the girl said, and her voice was slow and dreamy like someone sleep talking. You're Wonder. We go to school together. And up close, Wonder definitely recognized her. She was very recognizable. She had black hair cut into a bob, and her overgrown bangs hung into her eyes, which were ringed and smudgy black raccoon-like. She wore lacy black gloves with the fingers cut off. And perhaps her most defining feature, she wore a long black cloak. Not just in cemeteries either, all the time. Wonder had heard Vice Principal Jefferson hollering through the halls about that cloak. It was against the dress code. So I just thought, I mean, she's just a character who doesn't care. She's going to walk to the beat of her, her drum or whatever the saying is. But at first, like I said, she bugs Wonder and wants to call him 1D instead of Wonder, even though he protests, profusely or whatever. And finally, he just gives up because he realizes that really she has some interest in whatever's happening at this doorway house. And the two of them are going to become best buds and figure it out together. And she also knows that he's grieving and she's also grieving, for different reasons. But just thought I'd share that with you, Faye. But like I said, she really is a character, and the two of them, Wonder and Faye, and now Davy has joined them, and they're a trio. They're really funny together, all their little bantering and stuff. Crystal says she just finished eating dinner, fried rice, and going to read Weird, a story from the Weird anthology. Not sure what I'm going to read yet. I want to let you know that my first story that I read tonight was a weird story for the What a Strange Trip. It was called The Lonesome Bodybuilder by Yukiko Motoya. And it was translated by Asa Yonada. Yeah, Yonada. And I found it on a website called Electric Lit because I researched, weird stories translated, and it came up as a website. And I happened to be able to click to read that story out of the collection. But there are many, many stories in this collection. You might like them, Crystal. I put them in let me see if I could do it again. You might like them. But they give you a list of collections that you can check out. But it was a good story. It really was. I want to read it again before I decide on my rating because I enjoyed it. It was weird in different ways, not like in a creepy, scary way. Katrina. Jennifer said, what a meanie. And she laughs. Little brothers generally deserve to be tortured like that. Yes. And little sisters too. I used to torture my little sister with things all the time. My grandmother's house, growing up, she had a house where the bathroom was in the middle of the house. So you would walk completely around it. So if you walked this way, another person can go the other way. And I would always scare her. Like she'd be going ready to go out the back door to go play in the backyard. And I would go sneak around the other side and then jump out and scare her. And she'd get scared and she would cry. It was so mean of me to do that. But it was also kind of funny. She's 3 years younger than I am. So, but I also would scare my children too. Just because it's just like fun to scare people. But lots of stories about that. Mary says, I couldn't watch Blair Witch. It made me physically sick. Yeah, some people did say that because the camera, was all over the place. Yeah, that you're not the only one, Mary. He owns it on VHS now. That is funny. Sounds like Faye is my kind of gal. I approve of my namesake. Yeah, I wish there was a picture of her. Like they do have a picture on the cover. I don't know if you can see it with her. Well, they call it a cape, but it's a cloak. And she makes sure to correct everybody. But she really does look cute, But I'm enjoying it. It really is a good time. But kind of still heavy, I think, for middle graders to read. Krista said, oh, cool. I have to check it out. And there's the short story collection. I also, Crystal, I'll leave, let me copy the story I read. It's not super long in case you're interested in that too. I'll pop it in here as well. Okay, there it is. But that's the one that I read tonight called The Lonesome Bodybuilder. One thing that was weird that I did mention is the characters are not given names. Everybody's really generic in it, but you'll notice that it's kind of weird what the lady chooses to do and why she chooses to do it and how people react to her. But at the core, there's other things going on, relationships, loneliness, following dreams, taking risks, that kind of stuff. But I think you would like it. I think you would enjoy it. Jennifer said, I might have tormented my little sister sometimes too. Yeah. Thanks for the link, Kat. I'm going to share it in the Discord too. Yeah, it's really kind of neat because when you look through, there are a couple of stories. There was another story I was thinking about reading too. It was called The House Guest. This was by Ampara Davila. That was the name of the collection, and there was a short story called The Breakfast. But when you look in there, there's some links where you can actually go to the short story, which takes you to it in electric lit. And there's also interviews, like in the one for Lonesome Bodybuilder, they have the person who recommended it, I guess, for this website, Electric Lit, and the reasons why she chose it and all that kind of stuff. But I thought it was pretty neat. It's one of those things that if we continue having prompts for that, for like translated stories and stuff, it'd be worth investing in maybe a collection. I just waited too long, with being out of town the first couple of weeks of September. I waited too long to check for anything. So I'm going to turn off the banner. It's 6:10. I think we are going to do another sprint, depending on, let's see. It's 6:10. Why don't we do another sprint? Are y'all okay with 30 minutes or would y'all like 45? What would y'all, prefer? Because we could do either one and then talk for a few minutes after. I'm okay with either. If y'all are, it just depends on if y'all need more time to do whatever y'all are doing for this evening. So give me some suggestions. I can't talk. Some suggestions. I promise I'm not drinking anything besides water. And Alicia says she is cool with whatever I need. Anybody else want to weigh in? Jennifer is okay with either. Alex says, I'm good with 30 because I got to go make dinner. Okay. So let's go ahead, since somebody has spoken about a time, let's go ahead and do 30. I'm okay with that. Let me just change our little kitty cat here to 30 minutes. So backspace, set it, start it. Okay, so Faye said 38. Okay, Faye, I'm going to change it to 38 just for you, just because you said that. 38 minutes. Let's be different. Let's be specific. That's what they would tell us in improv. Be specific. And Brittany, who is still with us, even though it's really late where she's at in the UK, she's good with either as well. So 38 minutes. We'll start that. Thanks, Faye, for being specific. And this will be our last sprint for the night. And then let me get us a lot of things. I haven't do all this at one time. Okay, there I go. There I go. And let me get back here. Okay, so happy read. Oh, before we finish, I'm going to stop on Miraculous because I'm reading my last book for Cornwall. And I'm reading If I Ran the Circus. This is the one I'm reading for Kelsey's Cornwall readathon. It's going to be my last book because I've run out of time in September. So happy reading, happy productivity. Okay, everyone, how did you do? I am just going to say that I enjoyed reading If I Ran the Circus by Dr. Seuss. This is funny, and I really do love, I just noticed this, stupendous. Of course, this is for Kelsey's prompt. Read a book with something on the cover that you could find at a circus. So of course, it's all these little creatures that you can find at the circus. But what I love about this book is the little boy's name is Morris McGurk, and of course, he finds his empty lot behind Mr. Sneelock's, little building, Sneelock's store or whatever. And Mr. Sneelock is going to be in business with him, I guess. So, like, he's serving drinks. But what's funny is any picture that Mr. Sneelock is in, he is smoking his pipe. But probably the funniest, I think, one of the funniest, because there's many of them, like he's skiing through cacti, and there's the one where he's like going to wrestle. That one I think is funny. But I love how he does all these daring things, like this one right here where he's going to wrestle. Look at the animal's face. And Mr. Sneelock is just like, let me relax here for a second. But it says, and here in a contest of brute strength and muscle, Kid Sneelock, my champ of all champs, will now tussle and wrestle a beast called the Grizzly Ghastly and slap him around. Then he'll slam him down fastly and pin both his shoulders tight flat to the mat. Kid Sneelock will love it, I'm sure about that. But it's just hilarious, I think. I don't know. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. And so I was able to fulfill that prompt. But that is my last book that I'm reading for Carnival. And I'll have to turn my paperwork into Kelsey to get the little circus corns and the map and all that kind of stuff. But I really enjoyed it. I am disappointed that I didn't get to The Girl on Fire. And I also didn't get to finish my Small Spaces quartet, because I was supposed to be reading Dark Waters and then Empty Smiles, but I ran out of time. And I need to finish other stuff that I'm trying very hard to finish before the end of September, because I'm really hoping I'm just hoping I don't have to carry anything over. If I do have to carry anything over, it will be the Miss Marple short stories. And I have to say, I did see that there was a notice on Middle Grade March's Instagram that for unforeseen circumstances, they had to cancel our book club meeting for this week, that they'll do it for next week, which I'm glad that they're going to at least have a meeting. So I'll be attending that next week. Brianna says, going to get off and spend some time with the hubby. Thanks for the sprints. Bye, Brianna. I'm sure you're long gone. Hope you and the hubby have fun. Amy said, sorry I disappeared. I got blasted with a sudden headache and had to lay down. Ooh, I hope you're feeling better. Nothing is worse than a headache, especially one that just comes on. I can't really function too well when I get a headache. I can tell you that much. Alex says, I just got to a part in my book that physically made me sit down and say, what? I'm so excited about this weird book. It's the best kind of weird. Okay, let me ask you, is it this? Dark Matter by Blake Crouch? I had to go in my bag of books that I got from Friends of the Library a long time ago and see if it was the same one. But I have never read Blake Crouch. Do you think I could start with Dark Matter, or should I start with something different? Let me know, because I have had that in my bag. And Jennifer saying, oh no to Amy. I hope you're feeling better soon. Me too. I showered and listened to a podcast. Very good. Excellent. Finished audio, had dinner, and now hubby is going to read The Last Word by Taylor Adams to us while I do laundry or work on the blanket. That sounds good. Got from 33% to 40% in my ebook. Making progress. That's excellent. Brittany says, I've got to halfway in my book. It's so good. I like hearing that. Faye switched to an ebook, read 20 pages of Shoeless Joe by W.P. Kinsella, the book that Field of Dreams was based on. I've heard of Shoeless Joe. I think we had a picture book when I worked in the library many, many, many moons ago at St. Joseph's Library. I think we had a book about Shoeless Joe. Christina said, thanks for the sprints. Have a beautiful rest of your day and night. You do the same. Enjoy it. And Faye is telling you goodbye. Okay, I really appreciate you being here. Christine got a little bit further in Cotton Candy Massacre, only about 50 pages to go. Ooh, yeah. It is. I think you would like it. If you have Recursion, that's what I started with, but both are standalone. Very fun if you like sci-fi and multiverse. Yeah, I don't have Recursion. I happened to find this book at Friends of the Library, and Blake Crouch had a book come out last year. It had a blue cover. I can't remember what the title of it is now, but it was very popular. I think it was like Book of the Month or something for last year. So when I saw this, I said, well, let me go ahead and pick it up because I haven't read anything by him, and let me just check it out. So I don't have Recursion. I haven't seen that. And I haven't really actually seen many Blake Crouch books at the Friends of the Library store where I go. However, the Friends of the Library in Jefferson Parish are about to have a humongous Friends of the Library sale in October. I believe it's the weekend of the 20th, 21st, 22nd. And I'd like to go on that Saturday. And they have like tables and tables and tables. So I'll have to look and see. Maybe I can pick up a copy of Recursion there when I go. But I'm going to be looking for Agatha Christie, some Michael Crichton, any Preston and Child of books that I don't have yet. I'll look for some paperbacks from Hell while I'm there. They don't really have a huge selection of horror, but also too, I'll look for my cozy mysteries, my Lucy Stone. I need to make a list before I go, but I don't know if I'm going to go to the Friends of the Library store in Covington that Friday and then go to the big event on Saturday. But I really would like to do both because you just never know what's going to show up at the Friends of the Library store. Every time you go, there's something new. And I will also be on the lookout for some Victorian literature that I can add to my collection because there's quite a few books that were recommended by the host of Inktober that I'd like to add for my collection because it's just constantly growing. And Alicia said, I read a couple of chapters. I've heard good things about Dark Matter. I've only read Recursion by him. Very good. So another Recursion reader. Crystal said, I read the story, The Book by Margaret Irwin, which was good. Awesome. For Week of Weird, I have 3 more stories. I have to read The Small Hand, which is a novella by Susan Hill, so I can finish that collection. And then also I have 2 stories for LeVar Burton Reads that I'm going to listen to. One of them is for New Weird. It's called Open House on Haunted Hill by John Wiswell. And the narrator of the story is supposed to be the house. And then for Out of This World, to read a storybook with science fiction elements, I am going to listen to The Galactic Tourist Industrial Complex by Tobias S. Buckle. I haven't read anything or listened to anything by either one of those authors, so it should be a great time because LeVar Burton is reading. So I'm excited about the rest of my Week of Weird. I'm disappointed in myself because I did want to vlog my Week of Weird, but instead I'm just going to do a short little video of my week and then post where I can on Instagram because I don't know, I can't get it together. Yes, Upgrade. That's exactly what it is. I knew you would know. That was the name, yes. And Lauren said, almost there, Christine. Yes, Lauren, I think I'm at the big finale in the big top. Yeah, I have wanted to read Cotton Candy Massacre. What I have to do is make a list of these books and see when I can find them. And then I think one of my goals for 2024 is to try to start utilizing my library because I just cannot buy all these books, and I can't listen to anything except for LeVar Burton reads. So, yeah, I'm just like, either that or have to make a list for the used books and try to pick things up. Come on in, you. He's barking at me to let him in. Okay, so I guess I will be finishing up the Miraculous tonight. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm not too far. 306, I'm 241, so 60-ish pages. So I might be able to finish this tonight. I already finished If I Ran the Circus. I need to also read If It Bleeds, and I also have the complete Miss Marple story. So I think what I'm going to do is take care of Miraculous and also If It Bleeds, and then see where I end up with the Miss Marple. If I read a short story, and then I've got to wrap up my week of weird. So, can you believe it? September ends on Saturday. This has been like the fastest year, and I guess it's just been the fastest month because I was out of town. No way I could buy all the books I want to read. I'm using my library in Libby a lot. Yeah, I do. I need to go and take the time to do it. Yep. I just have to do it. And it is hard because a lot of horror isn't at the library unless it is super popular. Yeah, that it is hard. And I mean, unless you can get some kind of a good deal or something, it's very hard to find horror at even the Friends of the Library store. Some of the horror that I found, it's like far and few between, I can tell you that. And especially not popular horror, that's going around. A lot is on KU though. Okay. And that's Kindle Unlimited. I think you have to have a subscription or something for that. I'm so excited for October. It is my favorite month. It is my favorite month too. It is the spooky season. Fall is my favorite season. And I think it's because, I mean, if we had the weather, I would be really enjoying the weather. It's still hot here. Mornings are a little bit cooler, but the evenings are not. But it's the spooky season. Then you have Thanksgiving. It's just, I don't know. It's a cozy time of year. And that's why I enjoy it. So anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and end our time together. It has been fun. Sorry we're ending a little bit earlier than normal, only because I thought we were going to have our book club meeting and didn't find out until during that last sprint. But we will come together next week. Yes, I hear you. And I'm getting fussed at back here. Faye, thank you for coming. I really do appreciate you being here. I hope you have a great night, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your week. Hope that y'all get through the work week and y'all have some plans for the weekend. Like I said, I'm going to be heading over to Kelsey's house, and we're going to go shopping. Christina says, I just wish fall would last longer and winter would stay away. Yes, I don't mind winter if it's not like a rainy, slushy winter and it's not so cold that you can't stand to be outside. Because there are things that are nice about the winter too, like making a fire, and I don't know, my birthday's in January, so I like my month as well. Jennifer's telling everyone bye. Thank you to me. Thank you for coming. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you, Jennifer, for the pumpkin bars recipe. Thank you, Alicia, for the loaded baked potato recipe. Those two recipes are recipes that I can make during October. I'm actually probably going to have my husband help me make them. And then I can get 2 fall bookish bingo prompts done. Thank you, Christine, for coming in and hanging out with us. I'm happy that you're here. I'm glad to be back. Thanks, Brittany. I'm so glad you are part of my sprints. I hope I see you again. And enjoy the rest of your evening because you're way ahead of us. Good night, Crystal. Good to see you. Enjoying my week of weird. And Christine says, but where I am, there is snow, lots of it. Yeah, we don't get snow, but very rarely. And when we do, it's miserable because we don't know how to act. And we tend to lose electricity. And it's just not a lot of fun. Things close down and I don't know. It's kind of irksome when we have snow. And we don't even have the tires or the equipment to deal with it. Bye, Christina. Have a beautiful night as well. Bye, Alex. I'm glad you thought this is wonderful as always. You need to go fix your dinner now. I hope you're eating something good. And I will see everybody very soon. And my video for October TBR will be out on Saturday, fingers crossed, as long as I can get my editing done between tomorrow and Friday, which I think I should be able to. So keep a lookout for that. But in the meantime, stay amazing and be adventurous, spookily adventurous. Bye.